Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we are making basic artisan oven bread. It is baked in a bread oven or a Dutch oven. I am using my classic Lodge Dutch oven. This Dutch oven was my very first Dutch oven. I got it in 2015 for my birthday from Andre. So this is my oldest piece and I love it the most, probably out of all of mine. This recipe is very, very simple. I was given this recipe in 2020 when we all were locked in our house and we had to learn to do something. So I started baking bread. It was the first time I ever made bread and I thought always making bread was extremely hard. This recipe is very, very simple. I'm jazzing mine up just a little bit and I'll tell you the basics and I will later on post a recipe for y'all. But I'm gonna jazz mine up. I'm gonna make mine rosemary bread. And if you've heard me talk about it, my herb garden, I have tons of rosemary and I have a ton of basil. So the first ingredient, we are going to sift 4 cups, and I'm using bread flour. You can use all-purpose and you don't even have to sift. I like to sift. This is just what I've always done. So we're gonna sift up 4 cups of flour. And this is real simple recipe, y'all. Don't stress out about it. This is, I'm telling you, it is the simplest bread recipe. You can jazz it up. I've made it garlic cheddar. Let's see, we've done garlic cheddar. I've put dried tomatoes in it. You can do a variety of things with this bread. All right, we're just gonna stick our 4 cups of sifted bread flour. But this is one of those recipes you can just have fun with. If you wanna try something new, feel free to try something new with it. If not, just stick to the basics. All right, it is a teaspoon of salt. Let's put that in. And a teaspoon of quick acting rice, if I could talk, put this in it, a teaspoon of that, all right? And then, as I said, I'm adding rosemary. I'm adding about 1/4 a cup. I didn't chop it up because I like the big pieces of the rosemary. And then it's 1.5 cups of warm water. I just let the faucet run on hot for about 2 minutes or so and got it really warm. This is it. Put that in there. And our wonderful KitchenAid here. Let me dry my mess up. My goodness, I spilled some. Goodness gracious, I'm messy today. All right, we're gonna put that in the KitchenAid and we're gonna put this bad boy bread hook on. And when I first got this mixer, I actually threw my original bread hook away because I'm like, I'm never making bread. So then I had to go get another one. All right, the bread, it's gonna just do its thing here with the KitchenAid. They're gonna talk and do their own thing here together. And KitchenAid actually does all the work, y'all. This is so simple, and I'm telling you, easy. It is very, very easy. And if you have the lid for your glass bowl, mine came with a lid. All you gotta do is put that on there. When we're done, we're gonna have to let it sit rise just a little bit here in a little bit. I'll tell you that part here in a second. Getting ahead of ourselves here. Look at that. It already is coming together. This KitchenAid does all the work for you. How's the weather where y'all are? You know, I like to be nosy, know the weather. What y'all doing for dinner? We are doing leftovers tonight. We have meatloaf and we have some broccoli salad and I don't know what all we have in the refrigerator. So I'm making bread and I'm making a dessert later and that's gonna be it. Now it's getting ready to do all of it. Now I do turn it off when it does this. And I just push it back down in there and clean off the hook. Oh, there I am making a mess again. There we go. And we're just gonna turn it on one more time. You gotta turn up the speed just a little bit. Just like that. Pull this bad boy out. Look at that. Now some of y'all can take and do all the extra work you want, but I'm not. I'm just gonna mess it around there, kind of shape it into a ball. Look at those big pieces of rosemary. Can y'all see that? I'm all crazy. I love rosemary. So this year I decided I was gonna grow some. First time I've ever grown any in my entire adult life, actually my life ever. So I got these 2 massive containers and I made me some little herb gardens. And they're actually doing really good, I'm surprised. All right, that's it. Put the lid on it. We're going to let me double check on the instructions. I don't tell y'all wrong. About an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm just gonna let it sit until it rises. Then we're gonna come back and we'll check in with each other and we'll check in with the bread and see what it's doing, and I'll give you the other. Y'all, we are back for part 2. We've let this rise for almost 2 hours. Look how big it got. We are gonna take it out and put it on a floured surface. And we're gonna work with it just a little bit. And then we're gonna let it rest one more time. Let's let this bad boy just beat it down. Now this time we're gonna do a little different. I'm gonna move that out of the way. Look how beautiful it does. It smells so good. It smells good. That rosemary is making it smell really, really, really good. All right, get that done. Just gonna work it just a little. Now we're gonna move it around there just a little bit. And we're supposed to let it rest for 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it rest in the on the next step. We are going to let it rest and finish rising one more time in our Dutch oven. Now I already did oil mine, as you can probably see, it's nice and shiny. I use just the regular high temperature because we are going to be baking this at the first part at a high temperature. So we're going to stick it back in there. I'm going to stick the lid on it. It says cover it with a towel. I'm going to go ahead and just stick the towel and the lid on it. So it has, we're just going to go like that right there. There we go. Got it on there, and now we're going to let it rest one more time. It says between 30 minutes to an hour, just depends on how warm your place is. So we're gonna let it rest, I'm gonna say an hour because it's not really hot here today. So we're gonna let it rest one more time. Now, right before it gets done in the resting, about 45 minutes in, I will turn the oven on, and the oven will be at 450 degrees for the first part of the baking. So we're gonna go ahead and let this rise, and I'll see y'all about when it's time to bake. Y'all, we are back. It has rested for another hour. I've already got the oven preheated to 450 degrees. Now we're gonna take the towel out and we are gonna check it. Look how pretty that looks. Oh, it's just so pretty. Now we are gonna take if you have the bread cutter, you can do it. We're gonna put an X in it. Just a pretty big X there, nothing too fancy. Back just a little bit on that side. It just makes it turn out, it gives it a pretty look. It makes it the artisan look. Right there, and that's what we're gonna do. Now I'm throwing some extra rosemary in here. I have plenty of rosemary, so I'm just putting some more rosemary in there. We're gonna put the lid on. It bakes 30 minutes at 450 with the lid. And then you take the lid off and you turn it down for 15 to 20 minutes at 375. And then we'll take it out. Now when I take the lid off and I'm turning the heat down, I'm going to brush the top of it with some butter, just to give that a little extra butter flavor. All right, y'all, we're gonna put this baby in the oven, and I'll see y'all in about, 30, 40, 45 minutes or so. All right, and then we're gonna sample us some good. All right, y'all, we are back, and the bread is out of the oven, and I let it cool. Look how pretty that is. That is the most prettiest artisan bread you're ever gonna see. I'm gonna slide it off the cooling rack over onto the cutting board. Put that out of the way. All right, y'all, we are gonna cut us a piece up. Look at that. It is so pretty. And I think it's simple. Now, I did make mine a little more harder. I did use the bread flour, and then I added the rosemary, which is not that hard. But this is so good and easy. Look how pretty that is. And I used it in the Dutch oven. That was a request by my good friend Tracy. She lives up in Sun Prairie, or over in Sun Prairie, or down in Sun Prairie. Depends on what part of the country y'all are watching from. If y'all in Puerto Rico, my friends down there, y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. It's got that good rosemary flavor. Now, I did top it after I took the lid off. For the last 15 minutes, I did put butter on it. And now the rosemary that I laid in top, that got disposed of. That just pretty well disintegrates into the butter, then the butter absorbs into the bread. But look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can't go wrong with this bread recipe. And Black Beauty sitting back there, she did a wonderful job. You know, that's my favorite. They're all my favorite. Just like nieces and nephews and kids. They're all your favorite when they're in present. But that's been with me the longest. Oh, I love it. All right. All right, y'all. Let me know if you make this. I will post the video first of making it. And then right behind that video, show you the recipe and a picture of the bread. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all later. Don't have